Hello everyone! Welcome to Ocular Miracle Progress Report number 1. As you can probably tell, this is inspired by Doggy's Grief Progress Report videos, but I put a little spin on it. The first 3 progress reports will be covering the Ocular Miracle trilogy, since going straight to the full level, a top 300 or higher extreme would be a nigh impossible leap in difficulty. So while the first 3 progress reports likely won't be uploaded on a monthly basis, the rest of them will be once I start playing the full level. With that out of the way, here's the completion. I'm tagging the Discord. I'm tagging the Discord. I'm tagging the Discord. I'm tagging the Discord. If I could even fucking click on it. Copy text. Holy shit, I'm Jesus Christ. Oh my god, I'm shaking. Whoa. I beat Faith! I actually beat Faith. Holy shit. Wow. Yes, it is a fucking T-Pab hoodie. Represent, bitch. Hell yeah. How much a Faith completion cost? Alright, let's count attempts. Why am I in settings? Calculator. 5, 6, 5, 8. Plus 17, 113. That is 22,771 attempts. Wow. We are the champions, my friend, and we'll keep on fighting till the end. We are the champions. Champikins. Wow, I cannot believe I just did that. I was shaking so fucking much. Holy shit. I was like, I may as well have just been like on like a fault line. Fucking earthquake was happening. Earthquakes on every weekend. Alrighty, it's opinion time. Firstly, I'd say this is pretty solidly harder than Aku, my previous hardest before this. Where this places exactly on the algorithm, I'm not sure, and frankly I couldn't care less. What matters to me is the completion. As a level, I'd say it's an alright 7 out of 10 to a decent 8 out of 10 in concept. I like the fast-paced gameplay, the decoration is fantastic, and my god, I could fawn over and glaze the song for 48 hours bisexual. However, when it comes to enjoyment, well, I'll just rip the band-aid off, you die to bullshit. Yeah, once you've learned everything and start going from zero, you just have to pray you don't die to bullshit. In fact, how about I show you? Alright, Faith is admittedly not a perfect level. Even though its gameplay is alright, it is kind of buggy, and I bet Update 2.2 did not do it any favors. I'm just gonna go through and review everything that I was struggling with. Okay, so these first few clicks aren't much trouble. This click here is not wonderful. Sometimes I'll try to click it and then I'll just end up dying to this instead, but that's only like sometimes, so it's not that bad. This wave got consistent, but sometimes I would just randomly hit a frame perfect click here in the wave, where I click in the wave, but you're supposed to click an orb here, this orb, you're supposed to click this orb, but sometimes as I'm going through this wave, I would do like a frame perfect click in the wave, where I enter the cube portal and not hit the orb, and I would just die down here. I used to have trouble with this orb, but I just learned to click it late. And then we have this part. Sometimes if you click this weird, you'll end up dying to this spike here. And if you hit these 3 orbs in a weird combination, you'll sometimes die to these spikes up here. Which, why did they fix this hitbox so badly? It was probably for decoration, but Jesus, why'd they do that? Also, you're supposed to hit this portal. You're supposed to hit this portal. But I think you can see what the problem is here. Yeah, sometimes you just die to these spikes before you even get the chance to hit this portal, which is a buffer anyways. And so what I did, I have a copy of Faith that's, I enhanced a copy of Faith where I just did this. That's it. This, okay, so if you can get into this, honestly, this wave part up until here, this whole wave part kinda gets consistent, but I was struggling with it for a little while, simply because I'm wave disabled. And then, this single corridor, a death corridor if you will, this single, maybe like half of a percentage of the level, gave me significantly the most amount of trouble. So what you have to do is, down here you're a mini cube, and over here you're a mini wave. And so what you do as the cube, you jump here onto this pad, and you have a portal here, a gravity portal. And then you have a bunch of these pink orbs that you bounce on while you spam as the mini wave. But my problem is, I could not find a single consistent way for this to happen. Half the time, even if the wave touched the gravity portal first, sometimes it just wouldn't do anything. Sometimes this only works with like the mini cube, and I have no idea why. So all I could really do is go through this gap, go as far up to these pads as I could, release after these pads, and just start spamming like my life depends on it. Then you have this, which you go through a bunch of ship portals, which admittedly makes it hard to see, but this was before free camera in 2.2, so I can forgive that. And then we have, this is probably the learniest gameplay I've ever had to learn so far. This literally hurt my brain to learn, because it is just as important in this level to know when to not click than it is to know when to click, because half of the time spent in this part is auto. It also doesn't help that this straight fly flashes a lot, which I know people don't like. You have this black orb, and then you have this wave click, which is, it's actually quite a difficult click, because this structure has no D-block. So sometimes you'll go up in the wave down here, and then you'll do the click, but then you'll come down as the big wave, and then die here, because there's no D-block. So you have to go up just enough so that you're in the big wave, and then you come down into the ball portal. And then you have this click. It was kind of hard when I was initially learning the level. So there's a little something here that happens with the slope. If you hit this green orb weird, sometimes you will go like boop, and then go onto this slope. You'll go just barely onto the edge of the slope, and it'll fling you upwards a little bit, which makes you miss this blue pad. But that has only happened to me once ever from zero, and I've only missed the green orb like twice from zero. So overall, it's fairly consistent. Next part. This pink orb. This structure up here moves. You have to click this pink orb pretty late, or else these blue pads will just send you into an unavoidable death to this spike here, which is bullshit. And then we have this pad that leads you into this black orb. I used to die to hitting this too early, but then I stopped doing that. This is actually my least favorite decorated part. Simply because it's just like, I don't know, it just feels like one color, and I feel like some white and black accents here would really spice things up, and it would make it look a lot better. But it's still not terrible. This part is, I know the wave spam part earlier gave me the most trouble. Well, I guess this orb in particular, I don't know. There's something about the interaction with this mini ship, this orb, and these slopes. Sometimes when you hit this orb, you'll just go on this slope and just continue your forward momentum and just die to these. Yeah, the mods updated the level to put a force block over here, but I don't think that worked out very well. This orb is also kind of a troublemaker, because sometimes you can just miss both the spike and the pad and just go down here, and it wastes valuable time. And if you jump too late here, the pad will send you flying up into this corner here, which will kill you. And then we have this awful transition. There's just this thing where if you go into this like transition weird, you'll go up like this, hit the edge of this pad, go down here, slip on this slope, and then die down here unavoidably. But that's only sometimes. I think it has to do with how you click these two orbs. Because I set up this start position here to go this, and then this transition worked perfectly each time. But yeah, I think it has to do with how you hit these two orbs. Next, this here has a really nuanced click pattern. You have to hit this red pad and hold just a little bit, hit this black orb, and this moves up, and you have to hit this pink orb very lightly, and you have to hit it at just the right time, because if you hit it too early, your momentum will be blocked by this corner here. And if you hit it, and if you somehow miss it, you'll end up dying to this little itty bitty spike here. This is alright, this is alright, this is alright. These two black orbs gave me significant trouble simply because of all this cluster of spikes over here. This is pretty notoriously the 50 checkpoint that me and my chatters had often talked about. Go follow me on Twitch, by the way, twitch.tv/esgotya. Yeah, this is the infamous 50 choke point that I would sometimes die to, where I would just either click this too late and bounce on the red bouncer.
You have to time a bouncer?
And then go up into these spikes, or hit this too early and go down into the spikes again. This is a very interesting 2 clicks, because this is like a Sonic Wave type shit, where you have the dual mini ball, and then you click that. I suppose it's Scoop in circles, but you have to have a very specific click pattern here. Where you have to click and hold just enough time, then down here, enter the big portal, and do one specific click here into this. And then this click is really hard. I don't know why. This click was just really precise. Either you die to these spikes over here, or you die to this stuff down here. And then you go through here, bang, bang. Watch out for this spider timing. Sometimes you will die to this little spike if you click it too early. If you click this on like the top of the hitbox, sometimes you'll die to those top spikes up here. I usually like to click this yellow orb like in the middle and then buffer this dash orb. And then from the rest of this point on, it's pretty much just don't choke. For this click, make sure you hit the yellow portal before you hit the green orb. Oh, and then there's this. Here, this is a yellow portal. I think 2 or 3 times when I got to this part, I hit this yellow pad, went into the yellow portal before clicking the green orb. I would hit this yellow portal, then click the green orb, which would send me flying up into these spikes, which was not fun, but only like 2 or 3 times. This is a very specific click. You have to time this very precisely. A thing with GD physics is that sometimes, here, let's get a little guy here. If you jump like this, sometimes, if you're like this, or sometimes if you're all the way down like this, sometimes the game will forgive you and then just teleport you upwards instantly and allow you to just be on this block. But sometimes if you go too low, this hitbox will collide with the internal hitbox, meaning that you die. So you have to time this just enough so that you jump here and just get straight onto the block, or if you can time it early enough to where you can jump and get the collision bug that just brings you back to the top. But you have to time it very precisely. Don't hit this black orb too early, because you will just go flying into the side of this block and die. This block decoration has these corner spikes in it, and they have hitboxes. So even though the exterior red hitbox of your robot does not die to the blue hitboxes and instead clips through them, but they can still die to these red spike hitboxes. So sometimes if you click this early enough, you will jump up and your red hitbox will collide with this one and you die. This is also very precise timing. Sometimes if you're too nervous, you hit this black orb weird, and then you miss both the spike and the pad, and it sends you down here, and that's not a fun death either. These 3 orbs you have to hit. The way you click this essentially functions based on how you click the previous orb. You have to click this orb in a very specific way, and then essentially buffer this next one so you don't die to this spike here. I think on the last few days I was playing this, I discovered something completely new. Sometimes if you hit these 2 orbs weird, and you go through these portals weird, you can die to this hitbox. This one. This inverted slope hitbox. All they had to do was invert the slope. What were they cooking? They didn't have show hitboxes back then, so I can kind of let it slide. But these 3 orbs are a huge nerve choke point. These are way too precise to be this far in the level. I am so lucky I didn't die to these from 0. I initially had trouble with this straight fly, but I think it was just because I was getting used to the wooting. But this straight fly was eventually pretty consistent. And then you have this. For some reason, if you're too low in this portal, you can sometimes die to like these spikes on the side here. It's kind of weird, but it's whatever. Make sure you click when you enter this ship portal. You'll go flying up into this yellow portal, and if you haven't clicked here, it will simply not register the click, and you will just go up here. So make sure you click here, you'll go up into here, and then it'll go whoop, and it'll set you up for this straight fly. This is basically the last click that matters, but you're also given a setup platform here. So you just click here and then go up, and then you just go upwards, and that's the end of the level. I just wanted to put this part of the video in, just in case you wanted to go for faith. I just want to warn you, sometimes you die to bullshit. But overall, I can't hate the level. Even though my experience wasn't great, the level is still okay. I'll give it like a 7.7 out of 10. Thank you all for watching the first installment of the Ocular Miracle Progress Report series. Doing this is going to take a lot of time and effort, so I'd really appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. For those wondering when I'll be doing the next part of the trilogy, I plan to beat Prismatic Haze before doing Reverie, so hopefully I'll be able to get the next installment in this series out sometime in the fall of this year. Once again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.